Hey everybody, Steven here with Oddball Publishing with my son Caleb. Just wanted to update everybody on our third book in the A Zombie Bedtime Story book series that we have here. Caleb is the main character, working on the formatting. Our artist Zach is doing the images, he's finishing up. It's the beginning of April and we basically have this whole month to finish out the formatting and have him finish the illustrations, do any last minute edits, and then I'll spend the first 2 weeks of May dealing with CreateSpace, which was CreateSpace, it's Kindle Publishing Direct now. CreateSpace has been absorbed into that, and getting the book approved, ordering our copies, getting those in, all those other things, looking at the proof. But with this, I do want to show off a couple things. Talking about our process with that right now too, we're actually ahead of schedule with our launch, and we really want the book towards the end of May. We're doing the Rose Festival here in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. We're going to do that and then do a book signing at a local bookstore here that we have lined out. So, show one of the images. This is actually the opening one here. It might be a little bit harder to see here, but our artist really took off with the art style. We're actually mimicking one from somebody that we follow on Instagram, Mr. Revenge, which is like a loose sketch, very bold outline, and then loose sketch style within, and then he adds like paint splatter. So we're kind of mimicking that, and he's just taken to it very, very well. We have our rat Skitty there. So far the book is turning out really well. Our cover, and I'm going to tweak this a little bit more. It's more vibrant on this end right now. One of the things with Kindle Publishing Direct that we've noticed is just that the book itself, the images print darker. So over the last handful that we've had made, we've been very conscious to try and make sure that those images aren't too dark, because then it drowns out everything. But we have that. I'm going back through to reformat. One of the adjustments that we made is we changed the font size. The first two books, Undyed Nightmare and Color Me Zombied, they were 13-point font to save a little bit of space, because this book is going to be much longer. We dropped it down to a 12-point font so we could just get more text on the page. Oh, sorry. Because if it gets too long, and we have kind of a cutoff of 80, I don't know, I'm hoping we make it. What happens is the price that we have to sell it at becomes higher, which means less people are more likely to buy it. We kind of want to hit this $15 mark. I mean, it would be awesome if it was much cheaper, but that's just not going to happen with this, especially if you're self-publishing. So that's what we're really trying to get to. That way we can make it competitive. And we usually put the price on there also, so we want to make sure that that's something we can stick to and not later down the road be like, oh, we have to change it because we're losing money. This really is affected by expanded distribution also. It's not really our royalty from Amazon if it sells on Amazon. It's really if once it gets into the major distribution channel, which is the Ingram system, which is where they're going to find like Borders buys from them, Books A Million, all these other companies. For those companies to then have access to this book, and then our book shows up in their system, that's where that expanded distribution is. And that's where, if we can keep it under 80, I mean, we'll really only make a quarter every time it sells, right? Which at that point, not a ton of people buy it off that, so I'm not too worried about it. But it's something that we do think about. Another image I do want to showcase too is this one right here. You'll see this. Zach nailed it with this, and he's just been doing phenomenal. And his skill level over these last couple of years has just gotten so much better. We've also tried to make it so that each book, when it comes out, it's very close to my actual son's age, to Caleb's age, since he's the main character of the book. The first one, I think we have you at 6, which is when the first one came out, roughly 6 or 7. And then the one after that, I think we have you at 8 or 9, which is when that came out. And then this one, you're actually 11 in the book, which you turn 11 this year. So we tried to keep up with that. And this is one that we actually split too, so it'll be a 2-parter. This is the first half of a big chunk, just because of the fact that if it's too large of a book, we can't sell it for a competitive price. It's just too much. So that's part of the decision. And then wanting to make a good series where we're not trying to cram too much into this one book because of the size. These are 6 by 9, and this one will be the same size. wanting to make sure that we could fit it there and we didn't condense it and then it just seems out of sorts with the rest of the books. But that's it for right now. Like I said, I wanted to give everybody an update. I'll make sure we have our Instagram link in the description. And I'm actually going to be shooting some more videos covering Kindle Publishing Direct. I've just had a bunch of people that have hit me up that are either friends of our artist that he's kind of just pointed them in our direction to answer questions because they want to self-publish, or people that have viewed my other videos on my gaming channel. One where I talk about working with CreateSpace, and another one where I talked about working with what was it, Exalibra, which was a ripoff. And I'll remake some videos and put them on here as well to talk about that. One guy was in Nevada dealing with CreateSpace, and our first initial experience took 3 months to get through all this stuff. Once we learned everything, it was like, oh, it's easy, because we were amateurs trying to do it. Now we're a little bit more experienced. It is a much easier process, but CreateSpace is now absorbed into Kindle Publishing Direct. So I want to talk about that process. And then if anybody has questions, just reach out to me. I talked with the guy out of Nevada for 2 months, helping him out. And then he just actually decided to go with another potential company where some of the issues wouldn't be there with that new company that he was experiencing, because he didn't want to reformat his book. And that's the big thing, is just looking at formatting. So if you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of our content here at Oddball Publishing, hit the subscribe button for us. Thanks so much for watching.